Hi there, and welcome to my place. I wanted to share this video with you today because it's August 2025 and it's almost been 4 years to the day when my life really changed. To give you a background, just briefly on how life was leading up to August 2021, I'd had some pretty strong pain in my life, emotional pain, over a very short time. I had my 2 children tell me they wanted nothing more to do with me. I'd married a man who ended up being a thief and a liar, who stole a lot of money off me, and he had done that in the past. I had a lot of self-sabotaging behaviour. I was drinking too much. I was caring for others but not myself. In my earlier years, I had been a Christian, and I still called myself a Christian, but I wasn't spending time with God, and I was wondering why it wasn't working. Many years prior, when I had walked close to God, I knew the secret was to spend time with Him. Like with any relationship, communication and lack of communication is the breakdown. Communication is the key, and it's no different with knowing God. But this particular afternoon in August of 21, things had come to a head. My mother, who had recently passed away, she was 93. She lived with me for her last 4 years, and that had given me a boost through some pretty traumatic times because it gave me someone to care for and someone to live for, really. I had good friends and I had a great church, but I felt I could just fall into the background and no one would really notice. I had a booming business. I had been a real estate agent for 23 years, loved people and loved my job very much. All this started fading away. It was like everything that had been important to me was being taken away one by one. Even when my son had left and to go and live with his dad and he took his pets with him, I lasted 27 days without a pet and I couldn't last any longer, so I went and got a cat. And then not long after that, the cat got run over. So it was just like everything I was looking at was just making me feel more and more sad and alone and abandoned. So that afternoon, that August afternoon, I'm sitting in my egg chair outside. I'm by myself, and I just said to God, I am barely holding on. I feel like I'm in a pit, and I've been given a thread to try to get out of this pit with. My faith in Him was there, but it was so faded. I felt so much shame over who the person I'd become from who I had wanted to be when I was a teenager. And I didn't know how to get out of where I was. I felt there was no exit. I said what I thought was an impossible prayer, although deep down I knew God was God and could do anything. But I said, God, I need to have time with you exclusively, like a week, with no interruptions, no distractions. And I'm secretly thinking, yeah, how's this going to happen? Phones always beep. People always have demands on you. But I said it, and I said, if I could have a week, I will give it to you, and I will spend time getting to know you again. I tell you, without a word of a lie, the next day, New Zealand was put into a lockdown, and I got my week. And I am so grateful to God right till today that happened for me because it's what I needed. Every morning I started watching YouTube videos on Christian teaching. I didn't even know where all this was at. I didn't know that technology had caught up with Bible teaching and all this kind of thing. And it was like, wow, things have really changed since I paid attention to my Bible last. And there was Bible audio, there was stories, testimonies all over YouTube about people that had become Christians who were Muslim, or there were stories out of Israel, Africa. I was transfixed. This was amazing. It was like this whole new world of positivity was out there, and it was all to do with Jesus. So every morning I started doing that, and every afternoon I just started creating and just drawing pictures, writing, whatever I could put my hand to that was something that I felt that God was leading me through. Now, I didn't wake up after 7 days and be completely and utterly cured. I've still got problems today that have stemmed from consequences of years gone by. But I've got a peace and a joy and a love in my heart and a spring in my step that I never thought possible. I love Jesus with all my heart, and I'm learning every day what mercy means, what grace means, what he means when he tells us that he loves us. That's why I'm doing these videos, because I need you to know the same. I don't know your journey, but I do know how hard it is at times when life throws us every unimaginable hurt and we don't know where to go. Whether we've had a Christian upbringing or whether we haven't, we can still all feel incredibly lonely and alone. And it's a horrible feeling. I need you to know there's hope. There's hope in Jesus. Reach out. Just ask him to show you who he is. You'll find these random coincidences happen. And that's God reaching out to let you know that he loves you and he wants you to spend time learning about him. Find a good church, find some good people, and you'll be amazed when you look back at your life and go, I never thought this was possible. Thank you, Jesus.